Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Ask GameSpot. Today's all about the Oculus Rift, and not only that, but prizes. Hope you're not wearing an Oculus Rift.
Oh!
You just puked. First one comes to us from David Brown on Facebook, who asks, will the Oculus Rift put a strain on your eyes?
It might not put a strain in your eyes. You know, it's not like watching TV or like staring into the sun where your eyes feel really tired and like under pressure, maybe, but what it is going to do is kind of give you a little bit of motion sickness. It definitely plays with your brain. There's this thing called summoning sickness that this guy coined a while back where you're teleported into a new world, and that's kind of the weird sensation you're going to get with the Oculus Rift, not necessarily eye strain.
Just that weird kind of like out-of-body experience where you're in this sort of foreign space and it's just weird all around you?
Yeah, that's it, because you're grounded in reality, then all of a sudden you're in space or playing golf with DJ Singh.
Like Maxwell McGee on a Friday night. Next up, Mark Baggio on Facebook asks, what do we know about the prospect of the Oculus Rift coming to consoles?
The only thing we know is that there's no information one way or the other right now. There are no current plans to do that. No one has announced support, but Microsoft apparently patented a virtual reality headset back in 2012. There's been no mention of whether that's going to be official, something that's going to actually hit the market, but as the Oculus takes off, especially in the PC space, and you see those games kind of existing in two different platforms, I think the desire is going to be there, and if the desire is there from the customers, there's a chance the manufacturers will follow suit with support.
Bill22 on Twitter asks, will someone with motion sickness get sick using the Oculus Rift?
So we kind of touched on this question with the first one, but you know, there are certain degrees where motion sickness could set in. You know, I mean, something like a game like Hawken, for example, where you're in this giant mech that can fly 500 feet in the air and then plummet back to Earth, that's going to make you feel motion sickness if you're prone to it already. But there are other experiences that the Rift can be used for that won't necessarily give you that same sensation. Something that's low-key, that doesn't really involve a lot of physical movement, you know, that's going to change it up a bit, and you probably won't experience a lot of you know, discomfort, I would say.
All right, Bill, and just for your proclivity for motion sickness, we're going to go ahead and reward you with this sweet t-shirt.
Wow.
Thanks, Bill. Next, John D on Twitter asks, what games past or present would you like to experience with the Oculus?
Not Pilot Wings.
Not Pilot Wings? Good pick.
Thinking about this question, and I think a game like Yakuza, like from that series, where you're sort of stuck into this world that is sort of based in reality, right? But I have kind of a thing for, you know, urban, you know, Japanese, like, you know, Osaka, Tokyo,
right,
those locations. So I think it'd be kind of fun to explore those, given the abilities you have in those games too.
That could be cool. For me, I would love to experience a real intense survival horror game using the Oculus Rift. So something like Amnesia or Slender Man. I would probably regret it as soon as I actually start playing those games, but just the idea of it sounds really cool. So cool, in fact, that we're going to go ahead and reward you, John D, with the #1 prize on this episode of the show, the SteelSeries headset. Thanks, buddy. Next one comes to us on Facebook from Gonzalo Talades, who pretty much confronts the elephant in the middle of the room by asking, will the Oculus Rift support pornographic PC titles? Because, you know, that's what everybody wants to know.
I mean, if history teaches us anything, is that it tends to repeat itself, and whenever there's like these new entertainment technologies that come out, traditionally the pornography industry, whatever, they're usually the first adopters. They run with it. I mean, they're not necessarily the best when it comes to quality control, I would assume. I don't know. But either way, yeah, there's probably going to be some support for things like that. And that's inevitable.
And I believe it was Isaac Newton who said, if a technology exists, they will use it to support pornography.
Yeah.
And finally, it's XX Naruto fan XX on Yahoo Finance who asks us, hey guys, is the Oculus Rift gonna work with saltybet.com? Love the Oculus, love placing virtual bets, wanna see those two come together.
It's funny you mentioned that. I like salty bars.
Well, that sure looked cool as hell.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool as hell, make sure to subscribe to GameSpot on Twitter and Facebook so that you guys can ask us questions for upcoming shows and maybe even win a few different prizes.
I like prizes.
I like prizes too.
Yeah.
Make sure to come back next week for a Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer episode, and until then, Peter Brown, thanks for co-hosting.
Thanks for hosting.
Thanks for watching.